What's up, guys? On this very special and extra-most bestest episode of Brick's House of Cars, we're going to be changing headers on a Subaru. Nice!
Mayday,
My car's been sitting for 6 months while I gathered parts. Hopefully we'll start. Oh, hi, Kakalov! Tractor mode is engaged, which is good. Wrong lever. Don't pull the lever! Wrong lever! Alright, the next part of that was to remove the downpipe, which I've already done because I'm doing this by myself and it's pretty hard to do on your own and film. But there's basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bolts right there that need to come out, and they're all fairly tricky. Hello, it's day 2. I lost light on the first one, so starting bright and early today. Gee, Brick, what was wrong with your headers? I don't know, they seemed alright. You know. Except for the part where that happened. I don't know. Looks alright to me. Sick. Always make sure you replace your gaskets. Well, basically my header doesn't fit. It was from a newer generation STI, and we thought they should be the same, but they're not the same. It hits the oil cooler. So, gonna tie it up for now, and we'll be back with a solution soon. Yes.
1 eternity later.
Alright, well, we've gotten some more parts. We've gotten some replacement studs, because a lot of them are rusty and need to be replaced anyway. And now I think I should have everything I need to make this header work. Most importantly, this little guy right here. So this little guy right here is the oil feed tube that goes to the oil filter. And that's the one from the standard Impreza, not the WRX. Because we're going to be deleting the oil warmer. Because we don't need that. Probably. Probably don't need that. We'll see how it goes. Alright, it's going to be a bit hard to hold a camera and also show you how the exhaust is hitting on this. But this is the factory oil warmer / sometimes cooler if the oil is a lot hotter than the coolant. Basically, we've got coolant that's getting pulled through from the water pump right here, initially coming from right here that circulates through here and warms up the oil a little quicker. This is something that was only on US specs, WRX and SCIs, as far as I know. And it's not even on all of them. They stopped doing this in 2008, I believe. Consensus is that it's okay to remove it. So we'll keep an eye on oil temps and stuff, but should be fine to take that off. When I had the headers mocked up, the header was just kind of interfering with this little nub right here. So we're gonna remove that, and that will make it so the oil filter will bolt directly to the engine up here. And hopefully then the headers will fit, so we'll see.
Drowned you? You want more? You want all of it? Don't touch me!
Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, we can get to that. Oh, look at that. Oh. Filter out. Filter in. Heck yes. We're back in business, baby. Alright, so for removing the stock oil cooler, what you should have out after you've completely removed everything is the actual oil cooler itself. This little sandwich plate, which comes out in two pieces because you have to get to the bolt that's on the other side of this. Then the two things that get replaced are this little oil passage. Replace that one with the stock Impreza one that's a lot shorter. And then you also have these two coolant lines, which need to be replaced with just one long line that joins the two coolant entrance and exits. Alright, so these are the new studs that go directly into the heads for the header to bolt onto. And these are Subaru parts. There's the part number, in case you're doing this. And I've got the nuts also.
Replace all your studs. Seriously, these things get heat cycled a lot. Do it. Now, just do it. Here. Shh. Oh. Yeah.
Alright, so I've got the up pipe in there now. It was a little hard trying to do that by yourself and trying to film, so I didn't film it really. But basically, if you just kind of finagle the up pipe in there, just kind of and wiggle it up there until you can get the studs through at least one of the holes, and then it'll kind of stay there. Then you can go up top, kind of pull the up pipe up, and then get a couple screws tightened down on there, and that'll hold it in place. Also helps if you remove the banjo bolt right here for the oil line. Now I haven't tightened the screws all the way down because I still don't have the heads on yet, and we need a little bit of play in there trying to, get everything lined up correctly. So we're gonna put the heads on now.
Yeah. Yes. Oh.
Alright, so for some reason this gasket was not fitting very well over these two studs. So I just took one of them off and then slid that up on, and then that lines up fine. So don't ask me why, but there's a little handy tip for you in case you're having the same issue.
Now we'll attach the external wastegate for all those.
All right, here's another pro tip for you guys, or not pro, what do I mean? Amateur tip for you guys. If you're having trouble getting to that bolt that's way down there, that little shiny silver bit, so I loosen that guy up, spun it around, tighten that guy down there down, spin her back, tighten her up, bingo bango. Good morning. It's a beautiful day. Right, so now that we have an external wastegate installed, we need to do a little bit of plumbing as far as the vacuum lines go. And essentially what we're going to be doing is this, and this is really just to remind me to put this in the video. We're going to be doing that guy right there. So to do that, we've got some vacuum line, an assortment of fittings and caps. We've got this nice little T-fitting. This is pretty. And then also, you can never do a job without some zip ties and these snips. Oh yeah. Those almost landed on my phone. I just got the camera fixed on it.
You think you've got my number figured out? A motive born in drought and brevity. And if I'm not the soul of your design, I blatantly decline your remedy. Don't box me in, don't, or I'll leave. I'd rather be a dreamer, I'd rather be free, I'd rather be a leader, I'd rather be a queen, I'd rather be a singer in a...
All right, so we've got a vacuum line down there on both of the ports on the external wastegate. Those come up through here. The bottom one is this one right here. There's a T-fitting. This side goes over to the turbo. This side goes over here to port 1 on the EBCS. The top port on the external wastegate comes up as this hose right here. This goes to port 2 right there on the EBCS. And then finally, we've got port 3 that goes over here to the intake with that little weird thing that I just fabbed up. Next up, hose clamps. We're gonna connect that coolant passage. So from here where we remove the oil cooler / warmer, we've got that little guy and that little guy that need to be joined so we're not just puking coolant out all over the place. Starting right here, we just ran it pretty much along the oil pan and just kind of tucked it up in there so it's not touching the headers. Hopefully it won't fall down. So that comes around here, comes around the oil pan and goes right up to that nipple that was right there.
Once everything's fitted and in place, we can go ahead and tighten down all the exhaust bolts.
If I lose the fight, I still rage against the night.
See that little guy in there? Don't try this at home, kids, or anywhere that does emissions testing.
I'd rather be a closer, I'd rather be clean, I'd rather be a poser in a magazine, I'd rather be pretty much anything else than your machine.
Ain't nobody got time for cat. Don't let the quick montage I just did fool you. That took a really long time. Alright, it's story time again. Because what I discovered after I thought I got all of this mess out was that there was another piece that was wedged all the way back to here. And I tried this and this and this and this and ow and this and this, this and this and this to try and reach it, and I could not reach it, and it was completely blocking this. So I thought I was screwed, but then in a stroke of genius, I came up with this guy right here. This is my snake Lucky. Lucky's a very good boy, and Lucky was able to slithe his ass all the way down here like so, and I was able to just kind of do like a plunger motion and push it up against that clog, and that pushed it out far enough up to here that I could reach it with the pliers, and there was a lot left, so I'm glad I discovered that when I did before getting everything back in, because all of that was still in there. So there's another AM tip for you guys. So I managed to get the downpipe back up. I did have to take this back off in order to get that to fit. And then there's one bolt right up there that I have to get to from underneath. The rest of them I can get to from the top.
Since we're going external wastegate, we're going to remove the stock wastegate actuator. It's pretty easy. There's just a bracket with 2 bolts holding it to the turbo housing and this little clip. This is a wastegate holdy closey thing from Cobb. This will hold the stock wastegate closed to keep us from bleeding off that good pressure.
Officially, it's day 4 of working on this, but really all I have left to do is add coolant and oil. But there is one thing, a sneak preview of what's going to happen next time. Bye-bye!